talk about students, teachers. Hey, teachers, how y'all doing out there? Let's start off with students that have a lot of last episode, we ended with Ms. Tiana was telling us about her high school situations, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we were trying to figure out how do teachers help and handle students with this type of situation. So go ahead, fill everybody in again.
So I never graduated high school, but I walked across the stage because I had enough credits. My senior year, I was in a position where I just didn't feel like it anymore.
So you went to school and you just didn't feel like doing school?
I was done. I was done with doing what everybody told me to do because I've been such a good kid. I followed all the rules. I did everything I was supposed to do. The one time I asked for something that I said that I was told I couldn't ask for, I didn't get it. So I was like, forget it. I'm no longer doing this. So I stopped caring.
So you stopped caring what grade?
I was a senior.
You stopped caring as a senior?
Mm-hmm.
You done went all these years.
Exactly.
And then you say you didn't graduate, you didn't have to get a GED after all those years.
Mm-hmm.
So how do teachers, like as a teacher, I see it already in middle school. Yeah. Like how do you handle that with students that already don't care because let's say they didn't get something that they wanted or they didn't get something that they expected. Like what's the expectation for teachers in order to help students actually finish or care? Because you say you stopped caring.
So my senior year was spent in a school in a district that I didn't grow up in.
So you didn't know the people?
I didn't. And I started to learn that I'm quick at making friends. So I made friends, but it wasn't a place of comfort or safety for me.
Okay.
And I was told before I started that if you want to go back, you can go back. And when I said I wanted to go back, I was told I couldn't. And this was like a couple of months after school had started. And so at this point, I'm like, okay, then I don't want to be here. So since I don't want to be here, I'm not putting anything into it. And mind you, I did 3 different high schools. Freshman year was done in one district, sophomore and junior year was done in one district, and then my senior year was done in one district. And I wanted to go back to the school that I did my sophomore and junior year in, but I couldn't do it. Mind you, I had a car and everything, so I could do the transportation myself. That wasn't an issue. And that on top of dealing with home issues, like my whole mentality was I did what you told me to. I did everything. All these years, I did exactly what I was supposed to do. I shut up. I was seen and not heard. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't do anything. I was a good girl. I did everything you told me to do. This was one thing I needed for me because I was having some personal emotions about this. I was feeling some kind of way. Like my how I felt about myself was changing. You know, how I dressed started changing. Like I went from wearing the cute clothes to school to wearing the jeans with the t-shirt with the starter jacket in the summertime.
Right, which is what they do, hoodies every day. Hoodies every day. So but with that being said, as a teacher, that when the student comes in the classroom and you already don't care because you got a bunch of other stuff going on in life, what are teachers supposed to do?
I had 2 teachers, both males. One was my English teacher, one was my physics teacher. My English teacher stopped me walking out of class one day, and he said, they all call me Dee, because at the time my name was Gianna Debbie, so Dee. He said, when you walk around with your eyes down, you can't see what's in front of you. You can't see what you're walking into. He said, you're a beautiful young woman. Hold your head up when you walk. And what that let me know was he actually was paying attention to me.
Okay.
He actually saw me. Now my other teacher, who I absolutely loved my physics teacher, he was the last teacher I had. I actually enjoyed physics. I just didn't feel like doing the work. And he caught on to that. And he told me, he said, do you realize that you would actually pass my class the A if you actually turned in your work?
Okay, I got an issue.
And he told me, he asked me what was going on. I just didn't talk about it.
Yeah, but this is the point. As a teacher, if you come in my class and you don't do the work, what am I supposed to do with you? Talk to you. So I'm supposed to. Okay, hey, girl.
I understood there's nothing to do for me.
But there.
See, that's how intelligent I was. I understood there was nothing my teachers could do or say to me at this point because I've already made up my mind.
So why was you still going?
I was going because I had to go.
You didn't have to go. You had a choice. You had a car.
But
you didn't have to come to my class and not do my work.
But I didn't know I had a choice. I didn't know I had a choice. I didn't know my choices as a student. I knew.
You knew your choices because you chose not to do that work.
Yeah.
But you chose not to do my work in my class. I'm getting taken turn. You know, how you gonna just come in my class and be like, I don't feel like working today. Guess what? I don't feel like teaching, but guess what? Sometimes I gotta do stuff I don't feel like doing. Because in life, you gotta do something you don't feel like doing. I don't feel like going to work and getting up at 6:35 every morning to get there. However, I know that if I don't, then I'm gonna have the consequences of whatever in work. So therefore, how can we allow students to just I don't feel like doing it, I'm not gonna do it.
You just said the key word, consequences. I didn't have consequences.
Oh.
My last teacher, the teacher, my physics teacher, one day I went to him and I don't know if he read my facial expressions or felt my energy, but I went straight to him and I said, Mr. So-and-so, I said, I really do not want to be in class today. I'm not feeling it. Is it okay if I go early? And before he responded, he paused for a long time and he stared at me. And he said, I'm marking you here because you're in my class. But if you get caught out there, I don't know that you're out there. And I left. But I had a really hard time my senior year. And those were the only two teachers that actually acknowledged the fact that they saw me having a hard time. But by this time, I had already made the decision within myself. I'm no longer putting forth an effort in this place because of the personal stuff I was dealing with at home. And I was also taught what goes on in this house, stay in this house. So even if I had a teacher like Miss Armstrong ask me, baby girl, what's going on? I'm not gonna tell you. Because then, in my mind, you're gonna have to have a conversation with my mama, which is gonna let her know that I'm telling what's going on in this house. And then I have to deal with those consequences when I get home. So I'd rather just be quiet and just go about my day. I'd rather you not see me, but the fact that you saw me let me know, okay, somebody acknowledges, even though they can't help me, they acknowledge in the fact that I see you. Out of all these other kids, I see you. My English teacher was the one who pointed out, and mind you, this man was half deaf.
Wait.
He had
Grace, you can't be laughing at this.
He had, what do they call them? The things for the ears to help you hear.
Hear it. Earbuds.
He had hearing.
I'm a teacher. That's what we see every day. AirPods, earbuds, my bad. And then hearing aid. Yeah,
He had hearing aids in both ears. And his glasses were so thick because in one of his eyes he was going wrong. He was one of those teachers we was talking about. He was one of those teachers we was talking about in the last
Grace, you're gonna give us what is it? Cancel.
Here you go. He was one of those teachers we was talking about in the last Friday lesson. Because okay.
No, just tell us what he did. No. Okay, come on.
But the fact that his glasses were thick, he was going blind in one eye. So he's deaf in both, he's losing his hearing in both ears, he's losing his sight, but he saw me.
Listen, that says something.
That meant a lot to me. Because he didn't call me out in front of the kids, it was on my way out, he was like, so let me speak to you for a second. And he pulled me to a corner in the classroom. As everybody walking out and the other students coming in, he had this conversation with me quickly and briefly. And when I tell you I walked around the school the rest of that day with my head held up so I could see what was in front of me, and And that's when I started making more friends.
So,
but I decided, I'm not doing this no more. I told Grace know the whole story. She know the whole story. Just the fact that Miss Armstrong acknowledged that she saw me was enough to keep me going, because I wouldn't stop moving.
okay.
I would have actually failed out of school. His English class was the credit I needed.
Oh, Lord. Okay, wait a minute. Okay.
Really?
I'm in middle school. I teach middle school. So we were just on another episode, we were talking of the transition from elementary to middle school to high school, right? And in middle school, they come in with family issues. They come in with hormones raging and changing. They come in confused because now in elementary, you get walked to the restroom. And then in middle school, you have more freedom. But a lot of times you have more freedom and you've never had freedom before, so you don't know how to handle freedom. Okay. And so this is why middle school is rough, and then you trying to find your identities. Am I gonna be this, that? Am I band? Am I choir? Am I sports? What am I? And you trying to find your clique of people, and then you start finding out who really was fake and who was really friends, right? A lot of that happens in middle school. Yes. But then you already have been through so much stuff by the time you're 12. Yes. At home. And you already coming in not caring. And you already coming down. I'm so speaking the truth.
Yeah, my parents were divorced by the time I got into middle school.
Right, but then my thing is, as a teacher, if I'm a teacher that already has the pressure on me to get this curriculum done, the lesson plans gotta be done, gotta do all the grading, gotta make sure I call parents who are failing, gotta make sure I go to my team meeting, gotta make sure I go to my department meeting, got 150 students, 30 deep in a class.
Oh,
deep,
yeah,
what y'all?
Oh, no, I know.
I
I know about it. I remember that.
Yeah, and so
y'all ain't got no time for me.
So then you don't have, so then you have teach students in the back not doing the work, want to come in, put their head down. Like, as a teacher, do you know how frustrating that is?
Wow. I can only imagine.
And I'm talking because you was one of them.
I was one of those students. Like, I was a student who came in with the starter jacket on, and it was a Charlotte, North Carolina jacket too. With it had, yeah, I remember it was an NFL starter jacket for Charlotte. Yeah, but put my hood on.
Yeah, a lot of peppers, huh? But this is the thing. Do you know how much effort teachers put into trying to make sure we are productive in class? Cause then let an administrator walk in, for those who don't know, administrators can walk in your class at any time and appraise you at any time without saying, hey, they coming in. Hey, you got a key, you can walk up at my door any time. And so if I'm not making sure you do your work, and if you in the back of my class sleep, or if you just have drawing on the back of your paper, because he just said that's what her son did, he didn't feel like doing the work, but guess what he's doing? He's doing what you did. And he's not even in middle school yet. So my question with that is, like, realizing the effort that teachers put into all of the stuff, and then when you come in, you like, I don't want to do your work. So you pretty much saying to the teacher, you said the other word. I was gonna say the other word. I didn't know that. I know what I'm gonna say. Okay. You pretty much telling the teacher, F your work, F your class. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and you think that that's okay? I'm not saying you think that's okay.
Well, see, at that age, going through what I was going through, I didn't take my teacher into consideration because I was going through
kids. Kids don't take us into consideration.
I didn't think about that, but now that I'm older and I reflect back on being a student and actually having Grace as a friend. Having a teacher as a friend, and then having another friend who was actually a counselor It changed my perspective and made me think differently. That's why I talk to my son how I talk to him, because I understand that teacher got enough going that you are not her responsibility. You are my responsibility. Her responsibility is to teach you. To teach you math, all of that. So my responsibility is to raise you. I can't have the teacher raising you and teaching you at the same time.
But wait a minute, hold up. We do. Because 9 times out of 10, teachers are gonna see your child more than you.
Exactly.
Because if I'm with your child and if your child is at school, let's say our school 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock, right? So they're in our hallways for at least, that's a 8-hour shift, 9-hour shift, right? I'm going like work, right? But then let's say you have to work and you're out till 5, 6 or whatever. And so by the time you get home with your kid, you with them from like maybe 6 to
Bedtime.
8, 9, 10, depends, right? So and then they go to sleep from 10 to 6 or 7 in the morning when it's time to go back to work.
And then
So literally, you only saw them and interacted with them for 4 hours, maybe, if you did that, because sometimes they let them go play video games and you doing your thing on social media. I'm just saying, some students told me, I'm just saying. So parents really not spending a lot of time, as much time with their students, with their kids as a teacher. So we are. And what I tell them is, you are my responsibility when you are here. Because somebody told me, so you ain't my mama, I'm not your mama, but I'm with you. Right. Just as much as your mama with you.
And this is what I tell my kids. No, I am not your parent. If I was, you wouldn't act like this, first of all. But second of all, I am responsible for you, because if your real mama do come up here and she know you in my class and say, where's my son, where's my daughter, so-and-so, and I'm like, I don't know, guess who get in trouble? Not you, me.
And if you're in the back of my class not doing what you're supposed to do because you don't feel like it, I'm gonna get in trouble for not having good classroom management, because I am responsible for managing the actions in my classroom.
Okay, how I dealt with that, if I saw that you was, having some trouble, that I know that is above, not my pay grade, but above what I can do,
Everything.
okay, so we're gonna make sure to the counsel's office, because I don't know what to do for you at that moment. I can talk to you and see if I can help there, but other than that, the counselor can really do more for you than I can. And think about it. Well, I know some counselors who.
No shade against counselors, but I'm telling you, these counselors are so busy.
They are.
With so much,
but they, and that's not their fault, because
that's my point. That's what I'm saying, it's not their fault.
They're responsible for doing stuff that they ain't supposed to be doing, because counseling is what they're supposed to be doing. But
I'm doing that because I know counselors have so much on their plate that they don't get to counsel.
Right.
They need to be able to. Somebody's like, I'm sure you need to be counseled. No. I'm a counseling class.
Right. I know counselors whose principals depend on them for everything. I'm like, you're the principal. What are you doing? Anyway.
That's another episode.
It is. But
wearing so many hats that are not your hat.
Right. And I understand where Mr. Armstrong is coming from. It's like, what am I supposed to do? How you coming in not caring? However, think back when you was a kid. Did you really care about what the teacher?
Yeah. I was different. I was.
You cared about what the teacher had to go through?
I was different. I got beat. No. I was different. I was that student. I was that super smart. I was that nerd, like that. I love math. I hated reading. However,
mine was good.
Yeah, I was like, the teachers have a lot. Okay, I'm gonna be good. I was good.
Oh, I was good, but not because of what they go through. I was good because my mom was great.
That was me. I was good because I knew when I went home,
right?
If I got a
math. And you're saying, did I ever think about what the teachers were going through?
No, I know I didn't. And my mom wasn't educated at the time.
See, now that made it even worse because you knew what your mama.
No, I didn't know what my mom was going through.
Your mama didn't tell you when you came home what she had to go through. Oh no, I don't know all of my. Yeah. No. Not the kid, but she didn't come home to work. She didn't come home.
I helped her grade.
She didn't come home and have lesson plans.
If she did, I didn't pay attention to that. I I remember when grading papers and putting them out and with everybody, whoever, you know, the names.
They have to put it in the grade book.
Put it
After the grade, you got to put it in the grade book.
Right, what I'm talking about, no, I'm talking about the work, I'm talking about the worksheet.
I grew up with educators, my grandfather was a teacher.
I thought grading papers was, helping to grade papers was fun, because it was worksheets. Okay, so this is Deanna's, okay, here goes another one, Deanna, we put her in a pile, everybody had, you know, a pile over there, so that all she had to do was give the papers back away. I never thought, it never dawned on me, all the stuff that she had to do with all this or whatever, and it wasn't that I didn't care, I was a kid and I wasn't thinking about that.
Oh, well, let me tell you too, just you said that, you know, they tell us not try to do worksheets, don't do worksheets.
Oh, this is back.
I know, no, I'm saying, so now like the whole, you did a worksheet and then we just gave a grade.
Oh, no, she taught.
No, I'm not saying, you know,
Okay.
some teachers give a worksheet.
And that's it?
now.
Oh, no.
But then they're like, well, yeah, it's like, don't do worksheets like worksheets, like,
But you better believe they get worksheets if I'm not there. What you gonna do? Well, we finna teach a lesson and I'm not there, please, no. You gonna get these out worksheets on this review. And you need me a detailed report of what happened in my classroom. And I told them, hey, you act the fool when I'm gone, I'll act the fool when I get back. I did.
I believe you. I so believe you. I very much so.
embarrass me when I'm not here.
Okay.
You will be
Okay.
embarrassed when I get back. If your name is on this list,
I don't want your name on this list.
when I come back, it's gonna be lunch detention. And you know how I do my lunch detention.
I used to hate that because the teacher would assign a student. Say if anybody act up, you write down their name and give it to me at the end of the day.
You can't do that these days. You can't assign a student to do that. That student will get beat up.
I was afraid to get beat up then. Actually, I never did it. I was like, no, hey,
And
they
then-
never got an A.
But you can't tell the student, oh, my bad, you can't say to the student out loud, like, I got something, like, I'm not gonna be here, okay? They don't know that that's the student. You can do it like that. But you can't be like, hey, Deanna, you better let me know if anybody act up. Everybody gonna be like,
Okay, God no.
But I guess it was different because
yes, we were.
I mean, because the teachers used to announce it out loud on purpose because they wanted the class to know somebody watching you.
Yeah, but then that person that's watching you is gonna get threatened.
Yes.
Well, maybe that's just my school.
No,
I think they get my school.
I grew up on the sunny side of I grew up on the sunny side of the aisle.
But I said that I learned in my school. If you told the class that Grace is gonna be taking names,
Now that's right.
Grace is gonna be like,
I love all my kids. I can trust none of them though. Even the nicest ones. No, we can't do that. Because all they gotta do is say, come back and make it. All right. And don't want to like, no, we're not doing that. It was just, I
use my extra out that look.
I let the sub in charge do that. And she will write things down or whatever. And before I go in on them, I look and see what happened. Cause you know your kids. But we'll go in and talk about it. I will read what it says. Okay, what happened? And I will listen to what they said. And you know when the kids are telling the truth down or whatever, it's like, all right. So when I knew that it was just a sub, because I've heard about the sub going to different classes, they ain't kid friendly. Okay, I get it.
but they can be kid friendly sometimes as a substitute.
Right. But
I had a different hairstyle one day. And I was sitting outside my class, and my class is coming in. They didn't know it was me. Talking about, oh, we got a sub, like they was gonna act a fool, because they had a sub, and it was me. I walked up and I said, oh, is this what we do when you think I'm not here? Oh, for real? Oh, Miss Stephen, that was you, man, you was different. I'm talking about the subs that you drop a pencil, get out, something like that. Stop dropping pencils. Those kind of subs. Hold on to your stuff. They drop that pencil on her.
They are just there to get the check for the day, okay? But I understood, but then if I knew that there's consequences for that or whatever. But oh my goodness, these children. But yeah, children that are coping with certain things that are going on at home, because you don't want to ask. You want to ask, but you don't want to ask because that's home business. However, it's not what's going in his house, stay in his house type energy. It's just. I don't
It's
know.
affecting you and how I teach you, so I need to know what's going on with you. So
Yeah.
I know what I need to do to teach
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the question then is, when do the teachers have time to do it?
Yeah.
And like I say, you gotta make it, I'm like, yeah, you gotta make the time, but then like, this is what's happened before, like, if I had students in class, I could tell, like, they get emotional sometimes in class, we talk about different stuff. And so if it's something that I'm like, hey, you can sit and slide me a note, you know, confidential, let me know you need to talk, whatever. And so I've gotten those before, so what I've had to do is keep them after class so that we can talk. Problem with that, I got another class outside waiting to come in. And then they've already said, hey, don't have your kids lined up outside, because when they're lined up outside, is when stuff will happen.
Yeah.
I understand that, but the question is, well, when do I get to talk to this
Yeah.
student about what she told me that she had going on? I don't want her to leave out thinking I don't care, because she done told me, hey, I need to talk, and I'm like, oh, or catch me later.
Right.
You know, and then I don't want her to say, okay, well, come before school, because you might not be able to come early. Or catch me after school, can't really catch me after school. So,
Is there a way that you can bring your class in and you just step out maybe 2 minutes, a little bit, just to get an idea of what's going on? And then,
so bring the class in.
right, and then
And then take
bring
it
her,
outside.
just, you know, not long, but you know.
Yeah, good.
And then
The only problem with that now.
the kid would have known, hey, they talking to me about something.
Yeah, I'm always send the kids to this class with the letter. No. But the problem with that is, I wanted to, if she was gonna explain to me something confidential, I didn't want to go in the hallway with her.
her voice.
Because then now, you got other people's classes, other teachers out, you know, I'm like trying to make sure,
Hey, you know, she come to school the next day, girl.
I heard you.
It's like, Miss Armstrong, you said you were, I didn't.
Right.
Now you done lost her, you done lost her
trust,
trust.
right?
It's like, I paid attention to my friends who are teachers. I paid attention when Grace talks. I paid attention to friends who are counselors in school districts. And just paying attention to the overall aspect of teachers. Like, because when I got into junior high, we had teachers that were more open with us. And they used to tell us, hey, we don't get paid enough for this. You tripping. And I started paying, and when I started, it was one teacher specifically that actually made me think about it. I can't even remember her name. But she got pregnant and she lost her first baby.
Oh, and the teacher.
The teacher.
That's what
And we realized, and I was not one of the best students, and this is in junior high. Even though I was great with my grades, I was a horrible student because I had attitude. Because I couldn't express myself at home. So now I'm here with my friends.
Okay.
So I
Somebody got to get it.
Here. And she was one of those patient, quiet. She was one of those patient, quiet teachers. And my whole class in general, the whole class gave her hell. And then the next year or the semester or something, like we found out she lost a baby, and it changed the entire class. Because we realized that we were stressing her.
Dude,
right before the school year ended, she got pregnant again. And as a class, we came together and threw her a baby shower. And she said she wasn't coming back the next year. We understood. I actually apologized since I knew I contributed to it. But then at that point is when teachers became human to me. Yeah, because before then, teachers were human. Right. And even after that point, teachers feel they weren't human. Yeah. It's just for some reason she became more human to me because she lost a baby. But even after that, teachers really weren't human to me. They were teachers. That's okay. Like parents. Parents aren't human. They have parents. Okay, you're not so your mama.
I'm so glad you said that, because this is my thing. And I tell my students all the time, so this is the question I have for teachers though. Some teachers say that I tell my students too much about me.
You know.
But listen, no, because I'm open to them about life. Because I want them to know that a lot of the stuff that you're going through, I've already been there.
Yep.
And And I need you to understand that teachers are human too. And I tell them this because do you realize that teachers have feelings too?
Yeah.
You don't think about the teachers' feelings.
No.
You don't think about teachers' emotions. No, but why not? Why not?
Right.
Why do you feel like a teacher is this superhuman person that doesn't have any emotions, don't have any feelings, don't have life going on? And so I went through it. I was like, do you realize that some teachers are going, like for me, a couple of years ago, before I had my surgery, before I was out, I was going through pain every day. I was going to work in pain. I was having to go every other day and go get iron infusion. So I was weak, I was in pain, I was like, for real.
Yeah.
It was horrible. But emotionally going in and you telling me you not listening, you not doing your work, and I'm literally dying here to come and to be here so that I can be here for you, so that I don't have to bring in a sub, because you can still get this lesson that I'm still trying to help improve your life. And teachers do this all the time. And so I literally tell my students at the beginning of school, when we're talking about expectations and stuff, that's part of it. Hey, your teachers have emotions. So when you act a fool, do you not realize you hurt? I had a teacher that was telling me how like they literally are breaking down because their classes are like tripping.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but the teacher is going through all of this other stuff at home. And it does affect, we try to make sure it doesn't affect it. So I'm telling the class, I'm like, hey, you realize the teachers go through stuff too. Like I'm like, okay, you mentioned about divorce. I'm like, you realize that if you saying your parents got divorced and it affected you as a student, how do you think a teacher that's going through a divorce is feeling? If it's affecting you as a child, if it's the mother and she's getting divorced, and she's still coming to school to teach you, and now you want to act a fool? Why do you think sometimes teachers go off on you? You think they going off on you? Oh, they just don't like you. Hello, just like you feel like you can go off on people because you having a bad day.
Right.
What you think teachers go through? You don't think you have a bad day? And then I tell them about my past, about my parents' past and stuff like that, so they can know, hey, you talking about your dad is in jail, in and out of jail. Okay, hey, been there. Know about that. If you need any, if you want to talk, I'm here.
But you humanized yourself to your students.
Right. That's the other thing. Some teachers feel like if you tell your students too much about you, you have just given them ammunition to use against you. But some aspects, depending on what you say.
Well, with the internet today, I can find all the ammunition I need without you opening your mouth to me.
Well, as a teacher, you're not supposed to have anything inappropriate out on the internet. That's one thing I'm
That don't
gonna
change
say.
what you did in the past. I got your first name, I got your last name, but there's a huge possibility I may have your birthday. I can get all the information I need. So Miss Armstrong sitting here telling, I can lean over to my friends like, Miss Armstrong told the truth, right? I looked up. Miss Armstrong told us this and that. I would look that up. She ain't lying.
Like, cause they say I give my students too much to myself, cause they have my website, they have my social media, but like it's all motivational stuff.
Exactly.
Right.
It ain't me out there posting, hey, you know, hey, you know, I didn't know. But they've also said some people that still do personal, they change their Facebook page to whatever, they change the name and stuff so that the students cannot find them because they don't want students knowing all of their business.
Right.
Which I understand, you don't want students knowing all of your business, but how do you open up, like what's the boundary for you to open up so that your students do realize you're human? Like you said, you didn't humanize her until you found out she lost the baby. Right. But then did she tell you she lost the baby?
She was out of class for a while. We had a substitute, and it was longer than normal because we weren't used to her being out of class.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember, it wasn't her who told us directly. Somebody else came and explained the situation to us because her classes stressed her out so much where she had a miscarriage. So somebody came in and explained the situation to us. She never told us herself. And they told us when she comes in, y'all, be nice and be kind to her because this is what she's going through. All of her classes, I know for a fact that my class, we changed how we was quiet, and we was a completely different class. She asked us to do something, we did. We was quiet, we ain't act up or nothing, and then at the end, she ended up pregnant again, and our class threw her a baby shower.
But she had to go through that in order for y'all
To even see her.
see her. So, but then she didn't tell y'all that. Somebody else had to go. But I'm sure, did she not tell you all while y'all were stressing her out in the midst of, hey, y'all, chill?
We saw her spaz out sometimes, but we ain't care. Cause she wasn't doing it. She was just a teacher. She a teacher.
Wow. She's just a teacher.
Mind you, I was.
No, I know. But I'm just imagining some students saying that.
Yeah,
She's just a teacher. We don't give a damn. She's just a teacher.
It don't matter. Y'all just teach. Y'all are not humans.
We don't think you know what?
Okay.
It takes me to a whole nother topic.
It's just like parents. Parents aren't human to us until we get old and realize some stuff.
I'm just thinking about like when we talk about like, and it's another topic for real. When you said that the students look at us as just teachers, I'm thinking about the public and the people that determine our pay. We're just teachers, so we don't need to get paid like a doctor.
No.
We're just a teacher. We don't need to get paid like a lawyer, although without teachers, you wouldn't have a lawyer. So therefore, without teachers, then what happens?
Well, the United States is the United States is the only country that does not acknowledge teachers for who they are. There are teachers in other countries that have the same salaries as lawyers and doctors and things like that. Like there are some countries where teachers are held at the highest esteem. It's just here in the United States. Y'all are just teachers.
But I wonder why. Like, because if you think about it, and it ain't like it's easy to become a teacher, because like I could see if you said, you know what, you're just a teacher, all you have to do is graduate from high school, or all you have to do is get a GED and you can become a teacher. No, you literally have to get a 4-year degree first, and then you have to get a teacher's certification, and then you have to take a test to teach. So it used to be like, we had 4A journalists, so I could teach all those grades, any of those subjects. Now, they changed it where if you want to teach math, you have to pass math. There's only a math for like 6 through 12, or whatever. And then there's a math for like elementary. You have to have that. And if you want to teach anything else, you gotta go and take another certification test. It's how to make money off of teachers. Because if you don't want to teach math, let's say you don't pass the math test. Right. So now, what you gonna do? Okay, well, let me go get certified in English. So hopefully I can pass the English test. That's another certification. That's some more of the money you gotta pay. And then after you get certified, you gotta teach for a certain amount of time. When people come in to appraise you more because you're first year or you're new, then you gotta take another test that can determine if you're worthy of your classroom management, and you gotta pay for this test in order for you to come back the next year to be an official teacher, because you're in a probationary period. So why would we do this? Oh, okay. Why? Because we're just teachers?
No, it's worse than that.
Oh, okay.
Y'all are tools.
Woo! It was worse.
Y'all are tools used
She just called me a tool.
to take the younger generation and teach them what we need them to do so we can keep them in a certain line and mindset. So as they're going through all these levels, each level teaches them something different. So we need to make sure that each tool understands what their responsibilities are. So when they're sitting here in front of these other tools, these younger tools, who we gonna later use as tools later on in life, we need to make sure they know the right stuff. So let us control the tools that are teaching, because they're gonna control the tools that we're gonna need to use later on in life.
She called me a tool.
I'm just.
But my thing is, a doctor is a tool.
Yeah.
A lawyer is a tool.
But a doctor is held at a higher esteem.
That's my point.
Y'all.
So we're a low level tool. Yeah. We just we're a screwdriver.
Y'all are the beginner tools. Y'all the ones who keep the kids in line when they're younger. And then as they get older, you educate them how we tell you to educate them. So because we're telling you how to educate them, we want to make sure that you're certified and you know what to teach them properly. Right. You can't go outside of what the certifications say you teach. You can't go outside outside of what we tell you to tell them to teach. So I want to make sure that you know what you teaching before you teach these kids. So yeah, go ahead, pay for this certification. That's what you're supposed to do. Because I need my tools sharpened for when they teach my other tools. I love you too.
I can't stand it.
I just look like this. I catch a lot of stuff. I catch a lot of stuff.
But as we wrap up, this was an amazing episode.
Okay.
I think we had about 5 or 6 topics up in this episode.
We did.
But we gonna say this. If anything that you like it, share it, subscribe to the channel Inside the Teacher's Lounge.
Classroom Chronicles.
Yes, Classroom Chronicles, and comment, let us know what you think. If you have a story to share, you can send your stories to the email address. It is Inside the Teacher's Lounge Podcast at gmail.com. All right? So, y'all have a good one. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. If you want to send your stories to Inside the Teacher's Lounge Podcast at gmail.com.